響1個小時嘅口頭辯論當中，最高法院嘅大法官對於亞利桑那州嘅非法移民問題表示同情以及理解，甚至質疑聯邦政府冇採取足夠嘅行動提供幫助。一般認為，最高法院可能會維持大部分亞利桑那州法律嘅條文。支持同反對呢項法律嘅民眾響最高法院門外舉行咗示威，響美國好多嘅城市亦都有類似嘅活動。
I live 12 miles from Mexico in Arizona. I see the trash, I see the damage that the immigration law will hopefully help prevent. I also see the drug trade. I had a guy jump in my backyard with a bundle of marijuana. I hated it.
The state of Arizona will argue this is only targeting illegal immigrants.
That is a lie. That is the biggest lie that anybody can say in the United States. They are targeting us, U.S. citizens, American citizens, just because of our color and our accent.
When local law enforcement stops someone who may or may not be breaking the law, it's within their rights to ask for proper identification. I've been caught driving without my registration once and had to pay a ticket, so believe me, I understand. You need to carry your proper identification if you're driving a vehicle or performing an official duty of some sort. So,
do you carry ID with you all the time?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I live in a place where I drive all the time, so yes, I do.
Right. So, do you think it's your obligation to have ID with you all the time?
No. No, but if I know I'm going to need it, like I'm going to vote or I'm going to drive or I'm going to use a credit card, then I would know I had to have it.
Right. So do you think?
But if I just walk around this town, I don't need it.
So do you think, like, is it okay for the police officers to stop you?
No. No.
It's not.
Not unless I'm doing something wrong.
Oh, so
I mean, if I just look Hispanic or look like I just came from somewhere, they don't have a right to stop me unless I do something that makes them stop me.
It doesn't matter what you look like.
No, it shouldn't matter what you do look like. It should matter more what you do.
There's a fine line between police harassment and serving and protecting.
Yes.
And just stopping people randomly crosses the line.
The whole idea that, oh, as long as you're not doing anything wrong, you can show your credentials, you can prove to law enforcement that I'm not doing anything wrong. That's not the way that our citizens are supposed to be. We're supposed to have the presumption of innocence until we have a probable cause or some real reason for it to be approached by law enforcement, to have a search, illegal search and seizures, illegal, and I have to show my papers as I go back and forth through, through America.
You know, I was in Shanghai a few weeks ago and I was instructed to never leave the hotel room without my passport. So believe me, I don't know what is or isn't constitutional, but being able to provide documentation on who you are doesn't strike me as a major issue.
If the federal government can't do it, then the state, I think, has the right to police itself from, if you want to look at it this way, an invasion upon its state sovereignty. Because, I mean, if the citizens have a right to protect itself, why can't the state?
I think that immigration policy should be determined at the federal level. I sort of, in general, support states' rights. I think this is the issue of immigration policy is too far-reaching to be individually determined 50-some times throughout the country.
Do you think these illegal immigrants or undocumented laborers, they come here and take jobs away from Americans?
No, I think that's kind of a ridiculous assumption, mostly because one of the main arguments is, that they're taking away jobs from Americans who want them, but I think they're really taking jobs that Americans don't really want. I mean, I'm a college-educated person. I really don't plan on working at McDonald's anytime in my life. Not to say that that's not a valid job for someone who needs that money.
In Nebraska, the meatpacking industry have a lot of immigrants. So do native Nebraskans would complain that these people taking away their jobs?
Yes, we hear a fair amount of that in Nebraska. Sure.
Serious? But are those jobs that are unwanted by native?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Which is sort of a stereotypical response, right? This idea that I really don't want you, whoever you are, faceless group of people, taking my jobs away from me. I mean, I don't want to go do that job. You're never going to find me in that packing plant, but you can't have it either, which is a little bit ridiculous.
Do you think immigration is a very important issue this year, or never as important as economy?
No, I think they go hand in hand. I think there's a tremendous number of people who are mistreated at the lower end of the economic spectrum. Immigrants that are here undocumented are forced to take jobs that pay them too little. So it's unfair to them, and it suppresses the wages of everyone else.
Several presidential candidates this year.
Yeah,
Who do you
yeah.
think might be able to probably have something done? Finally.
Well, I personally think that President Obama.
Well, I'm actually a Republican, and I can honestly say that I don't really believe or find that any of our possible choices are going to make a big impact on our country. So right now I'm fading a little bit neutral and towards our current president, Barack Obama.
Mr. Romney, since the beginning, along with Marco Rubio and all the entourage from the Republicans, they already start attacking the undocumented immigrants, even the fully documented immigrants, you know? And Mr. Rubio attacks the Latin American community, and shame on him because he is Latin too. He's from Cuba. Not because you choose a Latin American running mate, you will have our vote.
Do you find illegal immigrants a problem to you?
No, not at all, because you know that this country is based on all non-immigrants. The only people that actually own this country are the Indians.
I used to take groups of people hiking and horseback riding and camping overnight in the desert. And every night, I never spent a night in the desert that I didn't have drug runners come through my camp with horses or carrying backpacks of drugs. So I saw it firsthand, I experienced it firsthand. And it's a scary thing because you see people come into my country with machine guns. So
how about border control? They don't do anything?
It's easy to get around if the agents are told not to enforce it.
They're told not to enforce it?
Yeah, by the government.
Why makes you believe the government tells them not to enforce it?
Because they tell me that.
What's the reason the government just doesn't want them to enforce that?
Politics.
Then do you believe you have more faith in state police?
I do. I really do. I know some of those guys too, and I trust them to do the right thing.